Welcome to Reader's Workshop. So we've been learning about how readers build good habits and the habits that we need at the beginning of a book, like taking a sneak peek and checking our sneak peek. But lately we've been working on the habits we use at the end of a book, because you got to do something at the end of a book. So yesterday we were talking about how we might reread a part of the book. Today we're going on to the second strategy, and if you notice there's like a think bubble, so it has to do with thinking, and it has to do with you could remember or review a part of the book. Okay, so that's represented by the think bubble. Okay, so I want you to help me remember to do that at the end of the book we're going to read today. And the book I'm reading for you is called Mr. McGee and the Big Bag of Bread. And I notice there's a guy walking along swinging a big bag full of something, and he's walking in front of the zoo. So when I'm sneak peeking, I think it's probably going to be about this person, and they're carrying something, maybe a bag of bread, because it says that in the title. And I notice maybe he's going to go to the zoo. Ooh, and on the back there's another interesting picture. There's a big interesting beautiful apple. It looks like an apple tree, and right here is like a dining table set with a tablecloth and a pot of tea and everything, and there's like a little bed under the tree. And there's a blurb here on the back of the book. Do not feed the animals, the notice board said, but Mr. McGee had a big bag of bread. Okay, so let's think about the sneak peek. It's about him. He's going to the zoo. Ooh, I'm wondering if he's going to feed the animals when you're not supposed to, right? Okay. And another thing to be keeping in mind before you start a book is who the characters are. That's part of the sneak peek too, right? And for now, I think that this is the main character, also because his name is in the title, right? Mr. McGee. So I think this might be Mr. McGee. I'll have to check my sneak peek in a few pages, and I think he might be the main character. Here we go. Mr. McGee and the Big Bag of Bread by Pamela Allen, Puffin Books. Oh, and here I see the same picture from the back. Mr. McGee stretched out in his bed. He gave a big yawn, and then he said, I don't know what to do today. Shall I stay in bed or go out to play? Oh, wow. So Mr. McGee lives under a tree. I just made up that rhyme. Okay, so, oh, I know what I'll do, he said. I'll visit the animals at the zoo. I'll pack some bread to take along too. Okay, so it turns out this was kind of like his house or shelter for where he lives, and he's off to the zoo with his bag of bread. So just want to stop and think, because reading is thinking. The story started off kind of at where he lives, under the tree. It's not his house, but it's where he lives. And he is the main character so far, and he's going off to the zoo. Oh, wow, there's some kind of monkeys. Do not feed the animals, the notice board said. But Mr. McGee had a big bag of bread. Oh my goodness. Look, they're waving, asking for food, and he's tossing it right to them. Look, do not feed the animals. Eee! Howled Mr. McGee as something hit him suddenly. Oh my gosh. They are throwing, look, they're throwing stuff back at him. Wow, I got to stop right now actually and already review. I want to see, what are they throwing at him? Oh, they're throwing some of the rocks. Oh my goodness gracious. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh, now here's a bird. Well, he shouldn't be able to have too much trouble with just a bird, I hope. Do not feed the animals, the notice board said, but Mr. McGee had a big bag of bread. It looks like he's holding out some bread to the bird. Eee! Howled Mr. McGee as he tried to pull his finger free. Oh my gosh, he got bit by the bird. It's even bleeding a little. Oh no, that's a bit serious. Oh no. Oh, an elephant. What's going to happen next? Do not feed the animals, the notice board said, but Mr. McGee had a big bag of bread. Uh-oh. I wonder what could happen right there. Could he get sucked up in the trunk? Oh, no, picked up. Eee! Howled Mr. McGee as he was hoisted up a tree. To hoist means to lift up, to be lifted up, hoisted. He's in the elephant's trunk, getting hoisted into the tree. Do not feed the animals, the notice board said, but Mr. McGee had a big bag of bread. Ooh, I think he's going to have something happen with the giraffe. Eee! Howled Mr. McGee as into the water. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, I didn't quite notice that there was water there. Splash! Slid he. Now Mr. McGee had lost all his bread, and this crocodile had not been fed. Oh no. So look, I got to go back even while I'm reading, because reading is thinking, and I want to see what happened. He slid right off the giraffe and into the water where there's a crocodile. Oh no. Yow! Howled Mr. McGee. And up he scrambled into his tree. The crocodile glared at him hungrily while he ran all the way home. Luckily, he can climb up the tree. There's nothing to eat down here, it said, so it gobbled up the bed instead. Now, poor Mr. McGee sleeps up in his tree and tries to keep warm with his cat on his knee. Do not feed the animals, the notice board said. Oh, how he wishes he'd stayed in bed. Okay, so fun book, but I think I'm just going to toss it aside and walk away. No, I've got to do something at the end of the book. And remember, I said today we're going to focus on remembering or reviewing something from the book. So, there are so many interesting, funny things in this book, but something I wanted to review was how things kept happening. The same thing happened over and over again, right? There was like a pattern. So he shouldn't be feeding the monkeys. He tosses them bread and they throw rocks at him. So something bad happens. And each animal he goes to, when he goes to feed them, something goes wrong, right? And then it's also kind of funny. I want to also review the page where he fell into the water and there was a crocodile. I'm making a connection to our new poem for September, right? In September, for a while, I will ride a crocodile down the chicken soupy Nile. But this crocodile is not a crocodile you want to ride on, right? He's hungry for some bread from Mr. McGee. And I also think it's funny how instead of a house, he lives under a tree. But then by the end of the book, it looked like he was having to live in the tree, at least for a while. But also he has no more bed. And it was also fun how there was lots of rhyming in the book too. Wow, there are so many things to remember and review in this book. So I hope you enjoyed Mr. McGee and the Big Bag of Bread. I'll tell you again, it's another book from Australia. I had this Australian teacher friend, and she gave me lots of good tips about good books when my kids were young, and I use many of these books in my teaching today. So be sure the next time you read a book to do something.